Painting is really a metaphor for what you believe about the world, and it's in painting that we find out what we believe about the world and what we think. So the painting is actually a way of thinking and a way of discovering what's going on in your head. I like to begin a painting by just moving materials around. I very, very seldom do a preliminary drawing because what I'm trying to do is discover new shapes and forms. So what I'll do is move paint around, move whatever my material is. I look to make shapes that have meaning or suggest meaning. And I like the shapes to be sort of open-ended, ambiguous, so the viewer has the opportunity to bring their own imagination to the work and sort of help in the creative process. So I don't do a preliminary drawing. I'm relying very much on my intuition. I put the energy into the material, see what the material is doing, and then sort of try to tweak it or accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and make a form out of it that is whole and well put together. I do feel as though the natural world has been the inspiration for me in all of my work, but I never really wanted to replicate photographic images of the natural world or copy a photograph. I always wanted to sort of let my imagination suggest those forms. And of course, my life now, I do a lot of gardening. I've taught at the greenhouses in Wellesley College for many years. So I'm very engaged with plant forms especially. But I like all the forms in nature. They're just infinite variety and beauty. And what I like is finding forms that feel true to nature and authentic. Most people, when they're starting out, will start with a watercolor class because it's not messy. They can do it at their kitchen table. It's not poisonous, all of these things. I don't really stick to watercolor exclusively. I love changing materials, and I love working and seeing what other materials can do. So you're sort of looking for a material that best suits what you're trying to say. Or sometimes you're just looking for a new vocabulary. When you change materials, it's like getting a whole new vocabulary because new things are happening, new surprises are coming when you change materials. And that's always breathes a breath of life into the work when you have the unexpected. In this show, Liquid versus Solid pertains to both Noel Bailey's work and my work. We both deal with very fluid materials. He, with his glazing, is almost painting on the forms. And of course, I'm using watercolor in these pieces. And the watercolor medium has a life of its own. It really wants to travel and bleed and run and splatter and mingle and do crazy runbacks. So the watercolor medium for me is very fluid and active, and I'm contrasting that with the solidity of geometric form.